David Seymour.
Mr Speaker, what a year, and I'd like to thank the people of the Epsom electorate, the people of the communities of Epsom, Mount Eden, Parnell and Remuera. It is an honour and a pleasure to represent you, and I never forget who put me here, so thank you very much. I'd like to thank the ACT Party. I'd like to thank the board, the members, the volunteers, because the ACT Party is in the ascendancy. We are rebuilding our party, and I'm very proud to be your representative in Parliament too. I'd like to thank my staff in the Epsom electorate. We serve many people who come to us at their wits' end. Often we can solve their problems, sometimes we cannot, but I'm very grateful for the support that I get from my staff for the people there. I'd like to thank my staff here in Wellington who have been absolutely fantastic. I have some of the best staff that anybody could hope for, and that's allowed us to achieve some very good things in our policy portfolios and more generally in Parliament and in the House this year. Thank you very much to them and to the officials from the Treasury, from MB and from the Ministry of Education. I'm very grateful for the support that you've given, the advice that I've taken, and I guess for your other advice too. Mr Speaker, I'd like to thank the Prime Minister. I'd like to thank the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister Parata, my friend and colleague who I had a tremendous year working with. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank Minister Joyce and the staff in his office for the work that we've done together, and there's lots more of that to come next week. But actually, I'd like to thank all of my parliamentary colleagues. The Labor Party, I feel, in a way, are sort of like my brethren, and that both of us really need a lot more votes. Mr Speaker, I'd like to thank the Green Party. They have taught me the importance of economic education, sort of back to front, but they've helped me to understand that very well. Mr Speaker, I'd like to thank New Zealand First. Mr Speaker, I used to hate Winston Peters before I came to Parliament because I thought he meant what he said. But since I've got to know him and we've talked about the olden days, I actually reckon he's not a bad stick, and those people sitting behind him aren't too bad either. But I'd especially like to thank Marama and Te Uraroa. What a fantastic couple, a dynamic duo, and I've enjoyed our exchanges at Tikanga U, Marama. Looking forward to more of that next year. I'd like to thank my friends in the National Party. Sometimes I think you should maybe just get a little bit drier, get some guts, as they say, but generally I'm very grateful to all of the support and accompaniment you've given, especially to the class of 14 until you uninvited me from your drinks, but that's okay. And I'd like to thank the press gallery. I've come to the view that we're actually very well served by our Fourth Estate here in New Zealand, with the exception of one journo who'll know who she is. And all I'd say is that if you're going to run an agenda, don't tweet about it, and don't have your friends showing up in the comment section of blogs showing just how close you are while pretending to be an objective journalist, because that lets all of us down. I'd like to thank the parliamentary staff. I'd like to thank the Speaker's office for helping me learn the ropes at various times. And Mr Speaker, indeed, I'd like to thank the Office of the Clerk, and particularly Margaret, who did fantastic work helping me draft quite a complex private member's bill this year. I'd like to thank the security for keeping almost everybody except for Greenpeace at bay, ministerial services, parliamentary services, the travel office, IT support, and all of those people who help us keep this place functioning. I beg your pardon. Well, Mr Speaker, I actually think Paul Goldsmith is a very fine, hard-working member, and the thing that the member for Northland could learn most from Paul Goldsmith is he actually has a view that public policy should be the output and ultimate product of politics rather than background noise to be ignored whenever the next opportunity to fulfil one's lifelong attempts to be taken seriously comes along, which is what that member's really about, and don't we all know it. Mr Speaker, I'd like to conclude by wishing everybody a very Merry Christmas. I'm very proud to represent the ACT Party in this House. Very grateful to all the who have said kind things to me. I actually had thought a cabinet reshuffle was something that you did to make room for the gin, which may be why I didn't quite take that one at the right time, but that will come again, and maybe we'll take it then. And I'd like to thank all of the people of New Zealand. It's quite amazing. Unless you look on Twitter, we really do live in the most magnificent and fantastic country where you can be from any point in the spectrum, the very wide spectrum that is represented in this House. And by and large, what you will find is that people are very forgiving, very polite, very supportive, and we have a tremendous future as a country being able to work through our various challenges in a constructive way. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I wish you and everybody a Merry Christmas. Thank you.